Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayers, Swordsmith Village Arc, which is on episode 2 or season 3 of Demon Slayer or season 3 of Demon Slayers, whichever one that seems fitting for you, because everyone has their own ways of saying it. But that aside, let's continue. We have to it that Kotetsu, which is the boy's name, which we won't, which is later on revealed later in the episode eventually, is trying to stop Tokito or something. Yeah, Tokito from using the doll, which I thought it was a real person, which I go, holy dang, but that's not the case. This thing is called, I guess, Yorichi Type 0, I guess. That's what the episode title is, but yeah, we have to it that this guy is actually this guy Tokito or something is trying to get the boy to give him the key and let him use the doll. But apparently he was very stubborn. Tanjiro was trying to stop him from abusing him or put any harm to him, but it's not really putting any effect on him. He's just that strong or something. Even Tanjiro knows that this guy is really thin. He's not that what's the word? Muscular or thick, however you want to put it into words. You get the idea. That aside, eventually Tanjiro does get knocked out by a swipe of a slap, I guess, by Tokito or something like that, which just shows how strong he really is, which is really shocking because I go, whoa, Tanjiro's gone through a lot of hell fighting like a upper demon, and this is what he gets. We don't really know what's the true potential of Tokito, but he must be very strong considering that Tanjiro himself is just still in the green area, if you get my point of view or you get the idea. But that aside, we have to it that we get to see how Ganesca does eavesdrop onto Tanjiro, Tokito, and Kotetsu, but unfortunately when he was about to carry Tanjiro to the village, but he decides not to do it after he realizes that he's waking up here and there. We had to Kotetsu explains to Tanjiro about why he's not letting Tokito use a doll here and there, but at the same time when they see him train, he's actually very fluid, he's not struggling at all. We get to know that Tokito is actually a descendant of the ancestor who created the sun breathing technique, that kind of thing. If you guys get my idea or point of view, etc. That comes from Tokito's crow. Tokito's crow seems to be on, what's the word, I don't know how to explain it. She has this way of spiting or having to spite Tanjiro and takes great pride in Tokito, etc. All I know is Tanjiro does be abused by that crow when he says he's not using sun breathing at all, and the crow ends up biting his cheek and then stretching it out, which is really hilarious. I'm like, oh my gosh, this crow is pretty much saying, don't you dare say anything bad, you hear me, or I'll kill you kind of thing. Eventually, we had to it that when Kotetsu sees Tokito damaging the doll that he's trying to keep alive, because we get to know that this guy Kotetsu is trying to keep an heirloom alive since he's the only one left in his family. His father died recently, which we don't really know when, where, or what's the natural cause, but one thing's for certain is that he's the only one left. He has no brothers and sisters, and that he's all that's left, Tanjiro, when he sees Kotetsu in despair, encourages him not to give up and that he has a goal in mind too. Although he knows that he may end up dying along the way to want to kill Kijuchi Muzan or something. Sorry, I suck at remembering his name or pronouncing it correctly. But overall, Tanjiro encourages Kotetsu not to give up, because right now what he's doing or what he is right now is is going to pass on to other people, and that even though yada yada yada. Anyways, we have to it that the Mist Hashira is done, and he ends up taking one of the swords from the mechanical doll, and he ends up tossing a sword to to Tanjiro that he broke or something. We don't really know why, but I guess it's just either that sword is just it's just weak, fragile, or just unworthy, or whatever the case may be. But one thing's for certain is that Tanjiro and Kotetsu decides to take a look at the doll is still working, and we have to it that freaking Kotetsu is glad about this and that he's gonna train Tanjiro to the uttermost limit, which is really sad. And very much understandable, because at this point, Tanjiro's gonna need all the strength he needs in order to get stronger, because the fact that he barely survived against an upper moon, even though he had the help of a Hashira along with Inosuke and Zenitsu, if he's by himself, he's dead meat. That's pretty much the truth. But we'll have to see how that goes out. But that aside, Tanjiro is put through the test to train with the Yoriichi doll or something, and Kotetsu was very ruthless with him, saying either you get this right or you're not eating at all, So pretty much he did not give Tanjiro anything to eat or anything to drink for about almost 3 days. But lucky for Tanjiro, through plot armor, how we want to call it whatsoever, or by luck, rain came down and he's able to drink some water. So, that kind of thing. So, eventually we have to it that Tanjiro does get the hang of it eventually when he starts to understand the doll's movements. And this time, Kotetsu decides to boost up the training a bit on a life or death situation where Tanjiro is to train against the doll with swords, The thing is that this doll has only 5 arms now, because it used to have 6 in order to replicate the Yoriichi's the swordsman's style many years ago. We don't really know how long, but all I know is 300 years ago that swordsman was around. I guess they tried to replicate his style for training or in a doll, but apparently they need 6 arms. So pretty much this thing is only having 5 arms, that kind of thing. You get the idea. Unless you watch the episode, etc., you'll understand. But for me, if you're just watching the summary or recap or something and not watching it, you'll be very confused. Sorry, forgive me. So overall, without a lot of complicated detail, after the Hashira Tokito was done with the mechanical doll, it will come to Tanjiro's turn, etc. And later on, he was pushed to the brink of tyrannical training, by Kotetsu. But eventually, Tanjiro does get a break and does get something to eat, But we have to eventually, Tanjiro does do a devastating blow onto the doll, which Kotetsu tells him it's okay, just do it, And we have to it that that the sword that Tanjiro used ends up breaking on him, But we have to it that after the doll was broken or his head got broken off, they end up finding a sword that's inside that doll whatsoever, which apparently we don't really know what it is, but all I know is it might be answered in the next episode, called the 300-year-old sword whatsoever. I don't know, but one thing's for certain is that this sword might be might have a key role to play. We'll have to see. Anyways, pretty cool episode, looking forward to the next one. And as for Tanjiro, hope you get stronger soon, because you're going to be having a struggle throughout your life. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!